Hello friends, I'm joining you today and you're probably thinking, man, she's already got her makeup done today. What's going on? Well, no, we're just adding, okay? I did a very basic, very standard face and we're adding something that's glossy, something that's glowy, and something that's glittery on top. I'm very excited. This stuff came all kind of around the same time in PR, and it just shook me that everything felt kind of like a finishing touch, you know? So just a preview, we've got new things from E.L.F. here. These are their Thirst Burst Plump Tide lip treatments, okay? I've got 3 of those. Also new from E.L.F., I've got their Glass Stick serum stick. We're gonna use that. And then ColourPop has this boatload of little, like, think glitter made user-friendly, glitter made easy, glitter made neat, little like shimmery sticks. And they are special, guys. I've been playing with them, swatching them. Some have more intense color, some are more sheer. We're gonna go through all that, okay? But first, I will tell you where we're starting with this, like I said, pretty basic face, trying to keep the glow to a minimum on purpose so we can put on some finishing touches, you know? So the first thing I did, I used my face glue. This almost made it into the products I actually think I really like video, because I have been using this more and I feel like I've had good results. But then I realized I haven't really paired it with enough different foundations, so I'm doing that. I've got that on today and paired it with Revolution Skin Silk, which I do love. These guys from Revolution. This is a very good, thin, lightweight foundation. Luminous serum foundation, they say, but it does have some pretty good coverage to it. F3 is my shade in that, and Fair Cool in the Skin Silk Concealer. Coty Airspun Loose Powder. That was for setting my under eye and T-zone, and then I still kind of felt juicy all over, and I grabbed this Makeup Forever HD Skin Matte Velvet. Shade is 1R12. Just a light bit of it. I mean, this stuff can go hard. I just used a little. We bronzed with some Maybelline City Bronzer just because I hadn't used her in a while. That shade is 300. Oh, and by the way, it's the last day of school today as I shoot this. I'm shooting it on Thursday. It feels kind of weird because we've had a little cool down here and I'm like wearing long sleeves, and it's just been kind of a rainy, gloomy week, and it doesn't feel like, oh, school's out for summer, but it really is. Lawless Blush. They sent me recently a new shade of this Pinch My Cheeks Soft Blur Cream Blush. It's called Duchess, and it's just kind of like your classic rose. It is kind of like soft reddish rose, and I've got that on gently on my cheeks. For my eyes, I wanted it to be a matte base so we could accent with the sparkles, so I pulled out my E.L.F. quad, bite-size quad in Cold Brew. So remember they had another one called I Love You a Latte, and this ends up being cooler. This was a more recently released bite-size quad from E.L.F. Brows, I did the Morphe Micro Brow Pencil and Maybelline Super Lock. I wear this in Java and this is in Deep Brown on the gel. E.L.F. Lock It Down Eye Primer, by the way, is under the quad, and L'Oreal Lace Shadow Stick in Brown Abyss across my upper lash line and smudged on the outside of the lower lash line. Oh, and my mascaras today, I used my Laura Geller Kajal Longwear Mascara and E.L.F. Lash Extender on the lower. And just a little soft, gentle lip. I'll probably take this off when I show you the new E.L.F. things, but this is Burt's Bees Tinted Lip Balm, my mini. How cute is that? Red Dahlia is that shade, and it's very, very soft. Okay, where are we going to begin? Let's start with this stick. So this is the Glass Slick Serum Stick from E.L.F. and it says Bouncy and Plump Peptide Blend. So big stick, it's got a secondary cap. That's how you know it's something juicy inside. It looks straight up white, like opaque white, to just look at it there. But then you see the finish of it and it brings kind of like just a straight up glossiness. The little box says there's 3 ways to use this. On clean skin as a hydrating serum, pat it onto high points over makeup, or in the PM under moisturizer. So obviously for us, this is going to be kind of a finishing touch step today. So I'm going to get some just on my finger. I can tell my finger's looking nice and glossy. And we've got this cheek that again has no actual highlighter on it, just a little cream blush. And we're gonna dab this kind of where we put our highlighter. And I don't want to go too hard with it, but because you guys know I don't love the idea of just a tacky surface of the skin. So I'm keeping it light and seeing if I can still take advantage of the glowiness. Like, look, I am seeing that. Like, just the surface of my skin does not look as matte all of a sudden. A little bit up in here too. Just kind of where your forehead rounds out. You seeing it? Ooh, it really is bringing kind of a very finished, clean look of health. How do you feel about highlighters that have zero shimmer, but just act in a more dewy, catch the light type of feeling? What do you think about that? See it? See it? It's popping off. Okay. I think I like that. As a whole, my skin does feel a little more dewy than it was before, but not outrageously so. No doubt you could get a more pronounced effect if you just swiped it on. But another thing I'm thinking about, which fortunately I don't think I'm seeing it here, but I'm not wanting to see any breakdown in the layers of makeup that are already on my face. And I feel like too much of this might do that, and that's not what I want. So just tapping it in, I think I like that. Might be fun to try it on someday, just like underneath makeup too, all over. Then I'd really go hard with it probably. Yeah, put it on clean skin as a hydrating serum. Okay, let's try our other e.l.f. things. I already played with one of these. Again, they're called Thirst Burst Plump Tide Lip Treatments. This is the one called Sheer Blue Hibiscus. And then we have a clear Pomelo and a sheer Guava. Okay, so I'm gonna unbox all that. 1% Peptide Complex Butter Blend. And these are under the e.l.f. Skin line, in case you were wondering. We've seen e.l.f. package like squeezy tube lip glosses and stuff, but this is really trying to set itself apart as a skincare type of item. Blush Cushiony Treatment helps visibly plump and pout with lip-loving peptides, while a nourishing butter blend wraps them in long-lasting hydration. You can use it AM or PM. Okay, so I am gonna take off my little tinted lip balm. It wasn't much, but I want you to just see what these can do on their own. And then maybe once everything's finished off, we can use it as a topper. But let's do the Sheer Blue Hibiscus. We've got that like sort of silicone-y tube there. It's a little squishy, but not too flimsy. Product really does come out with a sheer blue look, but there's thickness. Oh, I'm liking the richness. I'm actually kind of liking the way it feels to blend it on straight from the tube, which I don't usually love. It's thick. Scent is outstanding. I'm really getting a strong fruitiness out of this. I wasn't quite sure what to expect with the hibiscus scent, but it's just smelling like tropical fruit. Real shiny. You're not seeing the blue. Thick. Is it as thick as Lano Lips? Not quite that thick, but thicker than all my other little tubey products like this for sure. If I were to remake that chart, remember I did a whole video on squeezy tube lip products, these would be on the thick side for sure. And the way they're maybe adding to plumpness is just because that layer of thickness is now sitting on top of your lips, and they do look a little more plump because that's happening. That's really rich, not sticky, rich. Nourishing, outstanding scent, little bit of sweetness in the flavor too. Like, wow. Now we gotta try the next one. Whew, this is my kind of lip try on. These are gonna feel good today. This is the clear Pomelo, it says. Can confirm it's squeezing out of your clear. I don't know if you can tell, but I just swiped a little on there. Let's spread. What is this smelling like? This smell is softer here. Even shinier. That one's really shining. Can you tell the difference? First one felt more balmy. I'm wondering if the pink might also feel that way too. This has a similar thickness level, but just appearance-wise, like to look in the mirror, to feel it, you think, well, that feels like the other one. To look at it in the mirror, you're thinking, that's a lot shinier. Okay, so if you like that glossy finish, but still that thick, rich treatment type of feel, that's the clear Pomelo. Again, a gently sweet flavor to it, but the scent is super subtle. I can't even quite like label what I'm smelling. It's so soft. Just a little bit sweet, little hint of fruit. Okay, interesting. Interesting how they did that with the shine. Finally, we're gonna try the sheer Guava. The tube is so pretty. It has like a little pearlescent sheen. Okay, it's coming out and it's got some color there. See how it looks kind of coral? Oh yeah. I saved this one for last in hopes that it would leave more color on my lips, and it is. Yes. The thickness. It's just the thickness of the product that's making your lips feel like they're more plump. I adore that one. I could be content to wear that one as is. Really nice. I like the scent on this one too. I would say the hibiscus is probably my favorite scent and also the strongest scent, but this one's got that lightly sweet fruitiness. I feel like it's carrying a lot of shine too. This one in finish just feels a little more balmy, a little less shine. These two, quite a bit of shine, colorless, and this one having that soft, coral tint. So pretty. Cool. Good stuff, E.L.F. And again, that's all coming from their skin collection. Okay, now I gotta do some swatches to prepare you for these glittery sticks. Okay, friends, let's talk about what's new from ColourPop. This is what we have. This is what came in my mailer. The Jelly Much Gel Eyeshadow Sticks. We've got so many here. There's like 14 of these. I feel there's a few different finishes overall. Like there's sort of a family of them that feels more opaque and a family that feels more sheer. But with all of them, what we have is a small stick. You take the cap off, you have a second cap. I think it's going to be pretty important that we hold on to that second cap, okay? Because what's inside is extremely, like, has a major slip to it. It feels almost wet as it crosses your skin. And you're going to start to have, like, extreme doubts about how this is going to hang on. Now, Profusion, if this sounds a little bit familiar, months ago we tried something just like this from Profusion, packaged practically the same with a sub cap and that really glossy sparkle. But here's what's interesting about the formula. I'm putting my sub cap on. I don't want her to sit too long. What's interesting about the formula is that there's staying power. There's some setting that happens. I don't want to interfere with my swatches too much, but I'll show you in a minute. Like when you rub hard on these, when you apply some friction, some of the glitter is going to be able to pull away, but as a whole, the swatch sets, okay? I was playing with one of these on top of my eye look yesterday, and you put it on, it glides on with so much ease. It's feeling highly questionable for a minute, and then it does actually like lock in. And it's taking glitter, something that's so fun, but so hard to handle, and putting it in a really controlled delivery method where you can just do, you know, an everyday eye look like I did, and then we're going to be swiping one on the lid. But here's the more sheer family of tones. So they come off with just this really like veil of sparkle. It's a lot of sparkle, don't get me wrong. But do you see how there's not necessarily a real distinct pigment popping off of these? So I'll tell you what each one is, and then we'll talk about the more rich color family. This is Make a Toast here up top. To me, that's coming off kind of like a sparkly taupe, okay? Next one in line is called Big Energy. Right there, the one that's kind of hitting the light as I turn it. That one's got like a cool sparkle, but it feels like a soft champagne or just really the softest of golds, not brassy at all. Next one down from that is called Hyped. We're looking at a sheer pinky lilac. Some of these, I know it's probably hard to just pick up on it on camera, but that one is gorgeous. I love that. And again, it's not sheer in terms of a soft amount of sparkle. The sparkle is fully 100% there. There's just, as you'll see, there's not as much color in these as there is the next lineup. The next one's called Real Talk. I just gave that one another swipe. That's the one right above the bottom one. Might be really even brighter than the last one I showed. It almost looks like a soft pearly pink in the stick, and these just don't differentiate themselves as much one to the next. Like it wouldn't matter as much if you chose one, not the other. Like they're close with the sparkle. And then we have Stay Jelly. This one really looks like it's going to be colorful. It's the most colorful of the sheers, let's put it that way, giving us that really pretty pinky rosiness. Then I've got two that I felt like were just a little different finish, but still kind of soft. We have Diamond Girl and Aura Points, so I'm going to swatch both of these. They're still on the sheer side, but the color is overall soft. I just thought these two, while sort of in this family, felt like they were giving me a more solid color, but it was just happened to be a lighter color. So this is Diamond Girl right there, really, really bright, and this is Aura Points underneath it. Difference there being the Diamond Girl feels a little more bluish, like the sparkle takes a little more bluish shift, and Aura Points, the one underneath, comes off just a little more pink. Okay guys, here's the next family of shades. I think you see what I mean about how they just are way more opaque. That's my oven burn. Pay no attention to the oven burn, but look at those pretty, pretty swatches. See how they're catching the light, but it's almost like there's more of a pigment factor with these and less of a just straight glitter thing. I don't think I'll need to hold each stick up next to each swatch because the swatches actually just look exactly like the stick. I mean, we're getting the fullness of color here with these 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 shades. So I'm going to try to stay in focus and just point out the different ones. This top one is Forever Friday. It's kind of like a really soft, pretty mauve with a blue toned sparkle in it. Next one down is Golden Coast. Okay, Classic Gold. Next one under that is Pink Perfection, really giving us a true pink. Like, I felt like there was a lot of pinkness in the tone of the sparkle with some of the sheer ones, but this one is actually a pink you can see. Down under that, look how pretty that is. It's looking burgundy, but it's shifting blue, and that one's called Hollywood Hills. Up top here, this one's called Kinda Busy, giving us like a true soft purple. The sparkle in that is so solid and so pretty, and kind of looking a little bluish toned with the sparkle, but really giving us purple. Look at this guy. This is Happy Tears. Sky blue. More emphasis on metallic color with that one than a lot of glitter particles. And then underneath that, a fun shifting shade. That one is called Offline. Best way I can describe that one, it's got like an old gold type of shift. See the brassiness of this one? This one kind of old gold with a slight greenish and also somewhat pinkish shift. That's a hard one to pin down. You know what? I'm going to take that one, Offline, and I'm going to add that to my look today. So I'm taking off the sub cap. Again, hold on to the extra cap. And I'm going to show you how easy this is, because I did this yesterday afternoon as well on top of my eye. Look, take your stick, and I'm going to use it as an accent. Now, could you do this and not have a fully done eye underneath it? Yeah, you could just use this as a wash all over the lid. But I feel like for me, I'm going to have the most fun with these, like just splashing it on top of an eye look that is basically done. And I've gone over like, gone over a lot of my lid. I left just like my outer darkness there. And it's so easy. Like, it transfers down with no problem. And it's gonna feel slick. It's gonna feel almost cooling. It's transferring on so easily. We're not having fallout. But look at that fun sheen, and then it kind of sets up, it locks in. That's the really cool thing here. So I mentioned earlier, friction can affect these a little bit, like it can pull some sparkle off, but as a whole, they're locked in. Even the really shimmery ones that I showed earlier, I would pull some sparkly bits off, but overall the thing has set in. That's really cool. But how does it react to water? I thought that was interesting, because when I went to wash them off just with water, no soap, they immediately go. So watery eyes might break these down quickly if you find yourself in that situation. Rain, whatever, like they just ran. Hardly any rubbing needed. I mean, I did not use soap. I did not use makeup remover. So I really compare these to my experience with a long wearing shadow stick. And when you use a long wear shadow stick, sometimes those really need help getting off, you know, like long wear liners, shadow sticks, things of that nature. You might need some definite soap or a little scrubbing action or a little something. These are not hard to get off with water, but they will fight any amount of friction. Like, I'm rubbing on them. They are hanging in there. Sparkle is still very much there. I do have a little sparkle on my hand here too from it, but they didn't fully wipe away, okay? They are setting in place. I'm now to the point here where, yeah, that feels set. And I'm not having glitter coming down on my face. Could I guarantee absolutely you won't have a single glitter particle come to your cheek by day's end? You might, it's possible, but as a whole, these sparkles are suspended in something that goes on feeling absolutely creamy and just slick, and then it locks and it keeps it. And I think that is so cool. And it takes people like me who feel with glitter like if it's too messy or inconvenient, I'm not going to want to use it. You can't say that about these sticks. They're really, really fun. Yes, there's a lot of experimenting still ahead of me to do. I know you want to see that blue one go on. I know you want to see some of the sheer sparkle ones get involved in future looks. But just here to say, this is a really cool innovation for those who want to have a little more fun with their makeup. And I will be incorporating more in short videos and longer videos. Let me know what you want to see. It's just, it will probably be a harder product to like double up on. It's not something where, oh, create a look with various shades of the sparkle. You could, but in reality, I think you make a choice to use one and kind of spotlight things, or one or two maybe. I don't think it's anything that needs to be loaded on thick. Like, simplicity is the essence of the product, so we don't need to overcomplicate it. It's like, take a swipe and you're good. But thank you guys so much for watching. I actually feel really excited about all all of these things. My number one thing that's really got me jazzed up are these ColourPop sticks, but number two, those lip treatments from E.L.F. feel so good. If you've been wanting from the drugstore something that really feels very treatment oriented on your lips, nicely moisturizing, the Guava one is going to give you a little bit of color. It's so nice, but it's not as like ointmenty as Lano lips. So just know that. And I like this stick, but I'm not like jumping up and down like, oh my gosh, this changed my life. You know, it's just a glossy kind of topper and it does look good. I will say that, but we just saw that last week as part of the Laura Geller palette. I felt like they incorporated one of those highlighters that just felt like kind of a face gloss, not so much a shimmer. So, you know, that type of thing is out there, but E.L.F. did do a good job. I'm kind of liking the way I look in my little camera monitor thing. But thanks for your time, guys. I've got to go make some breakfast. Last day of school. I can't be too far behind, so I'll see you later. I love you. Bye.